Picture pulling cold, fresh carrots and potatoes from your backyard in the dead of summer, out of an underground room that hasn't seen a single watt of electricity. You will use passive pipes and layered sand to keep your staple crops crisp for 4 to 6 off-grid months. To do this, you have to treat the Earth as a massive, delayed reaction battery that traps winter cold to preserve your harvest through the blazing summer. We are intentionally skipping a basic rule of modern construction, leaving our floor as bare dirt. We will detail why shortly. As you load this dirt vault, you must be careful. One innocent piece of fruit acts like a biological time bomb, and if placed in the wrong corner, your entire harvest is doomed. Dirt is nature's ultimate temperature sponge. It maintains a steady 50 to 55 degrees just 4 to 10 feet underground, even while surface temperatures swing over 100 degrees. If it hits 100 degrees outside in July, your cellar stays naturally chilled between 32 and 40 degrees. The soil acts as a massive thermal battery. Think of it as a thick sponge that slowly soaks up cold during winter and slowly squeezes it back out during summer. This works because of thermal lag. It takes months for the deep soil to physically react to the seasons shifting above ground. The ground operates exactly like an oven, staying warm long after you turn it off, but on a massive planetary scale. Because deep dirt takes so long to warm up, it actually reaches its peak temperature months after the summer solstice, perfectly aligning with your autumn harvests. Nature's timing glitch is exactly what makes long-term, electricity-free food preservation possible. You don't need expensive fiberglass insulation or grid power if you let 18 to 24 inches of soil over the roof do the heavy lifting. To keep the room perfectly balanced, you do not need electric fans. You can power an underground breeze using just 2 4-inch PVC pipes. Instead of motors, you pull fresh air through the room the same way opening windows on opposite sides of a house creates a sudden draft. You install one intake pipe low to the floor in the northeast corner and another high near the ceiling in the southwest corner. Heavy cold air dumps out of the low pipe and settles on the floor. As it fills the room, it naturally pushes the lighter, warmer, ethylene-rich air up and out through the high ceiling pipe. This natural vacuum cleaner creates a permanent, fan-free airflow system driven entirely by gravity and the shifting temperature differences. If off-grid hacks like this catch your interest, we drop new systems weekly. This brings us back to our foundation. Pouring concrete is a mistake. Leaving the floor as a thick dirt surface, sweating with moisture, is the easiest and most effective way to maintain constant high moisture levels during the winter. Doing less work by skipping the concrete floor actually yields a vastly superior preservation system. The bare dirt floor naturally regulates the heavy, floating water vapor hanging in the room's ambient air. Carrots, for example, need to stay nearly soaking wet to survive. They thrive in 90 to 95% humidity. You can hack this by trapping a tiny, isolated weather zone right inside a storage container. You bury the carrots in crates packed with breathable layers of damp sand or moist sawdust. The damp material holds moisture like a sponge, allowing you to stretch your carrot lifespan to 4 to 6 months using nothing but a bucket and wet dirt. But that intense ambient humidity comes with a strict warning. Canning jars are not recommended for root cellar storage. The heavy airborne moisture causes metal jar lids to rust out quickly, and a simple storage mistake could destroy an entire season's worth of jarred preserves. Keep your sealed glass far away from the damp zone. Now, we have to address the threat lurking on your shelves. Apples constantly leak an invisible gas as they ripen. This vapor makes carrots turn bitter and triggers premature sprouting in potatoes, so your apples must be physically separated. That gas is ethylene. This invisible plant hormone acts as a silent chemical alarm clock, forcing many surrounding vegetables to immediately wake up and start aging. If you put an apple next to a carrot in a sealed room, you have just built a botanical gas chamber that will quietly destroy your entire winter food supply. As the UAF Cooperative Extension Service notes, to keep produce at the highest quality, it is important to slow down the growth and respiration with cool temperatures. Respiration reduces quality and speeds up with warmer temperatures. If your apples wake up your other vegetables, those vegetables start breathing faster. They burn through their own nutrients and eat themselves. Keep the apples off-gassing their invisible vapors far away from your staple crops. Potatoes have an even stricter rule. Complete darkness is a critical, non-negotiable design requirement for your potato bins. If just a sliver of light hits a potato during storage, it starts producing chlorophyll and a natural poison. The skin flushes green as it absorbs the rays, signaling the rapid production of solanine. This bitter, poisonous chemical floods the entire vegetable, acting as a highly toxic natural bug spray meant to aggressively deter pests. A poorly designed light fixture doesn't just ruin your potatoes, it turns your staple carbohydrate into a stomach-churning toxin. Your potato bins must stay in total darkness. To protect this delicate balance, you cannot let the outside air rush in every time you grab a cabbage. 2 centuries ago, standard root cellar construction used a 2-door airlock system to trap a bubble of air, preventing the precious cold from escaping when someone walked in. This transition space relies on 2 isolated doors to stop the air currents from mixing, functioning exactly like the double-door transition room on a spaceship, but for trapping cold instead of oxygen. You open the outer wooden door, step into the small gap, close it behind you, and only then open the inner door. You can use this 200-year-old architectural trick to lock in your vault's temperature for free. Every output in this setup can feed another system. Remember the warm, stale, ethylene-rich air getting pushed out the ceiling pipe? You can route that stale exhaust directly into an attached passive solar greenhouse to collect and trap the sun's heat without relying on mechanical heaters. The exhaust from your cellar provides steady winter warmth for your greenhouse crops above. You trade utility bills for clever airflow, feeding one zone with the waste of another. The Earth's dirt machinery is already waiting beneath your boots. If you liked this, 7 biohacks that force cuttings to root without store-bought hormone, that's the next one.